The answers then for the questions on the effects of exercise. The first question is explain the short-term effects on the heart and the blood of a swimmer performing a 100-meter front crawl. It's a 5-mark question, but we don't have to be alarmed. We just need to make 5 points. So we need to explain 5 different short-term effects of exercise on the swimmer. Common mistake for this question is not reading it properly. So we need to make sure our short-term effects are related to the heart and the blood, and we don't start talking about the muscular system or the skeletal system or anything else. So some of the marks, what we could have put then is increase in heart rate. So heart rate's the amount of times the heart beats per minute. So short-term effects obviously refers to what happens as soon as we start to exercise. So heart rate increases. Stroke volume increases. This is the amount of blood that leaves the heart per beat. Cardiac output also increases. This is stroke volume times heart rate, which means it's the amount of blood which leaves the heart per minute. There's an increase in blood flow or oxygen to the working muscles. Blood is directed away from other organs, also known as vascular shunting. Increase in blood pressure due to the increase in demand for oxygen. So blood pressure, systolic blood pressure will rise a little bit. Increase in blood lactate, or you might have said lactic acid levels will increase in the blood. Blood temperature also increases. And as we already mentioned, vascular shunting occurs, or you might have said that vasodilation of blood vessels to the muscles which require oxygen and which are working, or vasoconstriction, which is the narrowing of blood vessels to the other organs, such as the digestive system. A swimmer who undergoes a 6-month training program will experience muscular hypertrophy. What is meant by the term muscular hypertrophy? So this just means that our muscles will increase in size, or they'll get bigger. So that's exactly what hypertrophy means. It means that something will increase in size. Second part of that question, describe other muscular benefits the 6-month training program might have for the swimmer. And this is a 4-mark question. So again, we need to come up with 4 muscular benefits that they might experience. So they might increase their power and strength, increase their speed, muscular endurance, so different components of fitness basically. Flexibility, another component of fitness. They increase their tolerance to lactic acid, so they can work for longer with more lactic acid in their blood without becoming fatigued. Increased rate of removal of lactic acid, so they can get rid of lactic acid at a quicker pace. Increased or reduced recovery rate, so they're recovering quicker. Or you might have said increased capillarization at the muscles, and that just means there's a higher number of capillaries at the site of the muscles, which makes it easier for gas exchange, so gas exchange becomes more efficient. Evaluate how the long-term effects of exercise on the muscular system could be beneficial to a footballer. Another 5-mark question, but if you know your stuff on this topic, then it's a really easy 5 marks, because we just need 5 long-term effects this time on the muscular system. So we could have said, as we've already discussed muscular hypertrophy, which would allow players to shield the ball away from the opponent. Increase in strength. So an example here could be we're able to kick the ball harder and further. Increased in speed or speed of contraction, and this could refer to beating an opponent in a sprint to get to the ball. Increase in muscular endurance, which means it's easier to perform for the entire game, so the entire 90 minutes. Increase in flexibility, we're able to stretch further. So this could be when making a tackle, you can slide in and stretch further, or you might have said a player is less likely to get injured if they've got increased flexibility. Increased tolerance to lactic acid, so they can keep playing. They don't need to be substituted throughout the 90 minutes. Increased recovery rate, so they can get ready for the next game quicker. and increased rate of removal of lactic acid. So again, they can keep going for 90 minutes without needing to need a break or needing to be substituted. It's worth pointing out, so the difference between this question and the other questions is the word evaluate here. So for this question, because it is said evaluate, we don't only need to come up with a long-term effect of exercise, but we also just need to give an example. So this is our evaluation, given an example from sport.